Hello, this is Dan Nowman Niswander here, and you're watching the Nowman Show, and I am here in downtown Los Angeles in Little Tokyo District at the Little Tokyo Art Complex building, and I'm here with a friend of mine who has one of the spaces. It's kind of like a co-op of artists that share this unique space. And he's here. I'm going to talk to him about his artwork and what he's doing right here in the studio. His name is Jesse Fregozo. So how are you, Jesse?
I'm doing great, Dan. How about yourself? How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. Well, I usually say all things considered, but physically, mentally, and creatively excellent.
Alrighty, that's great.
And I see you have a hat there that has your name on it. That's cool.
Yeah, I have a hat. Let me go ahead and talk to you a little bit about myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
So this is me on Instagram. You just go ahead and follow me. It's Fregozo after.
Ah.
Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Boyle Heights, East LA, and I went to Cal State Dominguez Sales, and in Cal State Dominguez Sales, I decided to go ahead and join the art department, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the art department, I decided to double major as well. I double majored in art and design and studio art. So coming from Dominguez Sales, had great professors there. They kind of taught me and how to work with color, work with paint, and also how to design. How to go ahead, and it is that things start from a simple sketch into something big. So basically, I kind of learned the steps of how to change from one thing to the other, and how to make things actually evolve, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So one of the things, as you guys are seeing here, this is some of my current work. Besides just making work, like studio work, I also do design. But first, let me go ahead and explain to you guys the work that's currently here. The work that's here, this is a painting of mine. It's called The 3 Stages of Life. And this is my Virgin Mary sculpture that I'm currently working on right now. And in the back, that's an easel with another work I have, which is a portrait of my mom. And on the side right here, that's just some of the work that I've been doing throughout time. Some of them were done. I actually did them during my college years. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. What my work references, it's more on the identity, culture, and also on community. That's kind of what my work is referencing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. As you guys know, right now we're not going through such a great time.
That's right.
But as artists, I think that even kind of motivates us in a little bit more to go ahead and add to what is that we're working on, right? For me, it kind of motivates me in a great level, because since those are the 3 topics that I try to show throughout my work, I kind of go ahead and tie everything that's going on into how it's being affected in our community, right? So that's something that I'm illustrating throughout my work.
So it doesn't matter what the format is. It's as long it puts your style into it, whatever it might be, whether it's an original painting, whether it's a sketch, whether it's doing restoration work, like Mother Mary here.
Yeah.
And then you also do album covers. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. That is more on the design section of what I do. I just created an album cover for one of my friends. He's also an artist, but he's into music. He's a rapper, and he's a rapper artist. And he kind of gave me the opportunity to go ahead and make his album cover, right? And I designed the whole process for him. I had to sketch things out. I had to go ahead and take things, into Illustrator, Photoshop, kind of see what works, play with typography, and also play with imagery as well. And had to kind of put a composition together and create a hierarchy, because that's kind of the way I design my work. Everyone does it work differently, but that's kind of how I design it. Yeah.
So you use a lot of different kind of tools to make your art, which is fantastic. So
yeah, definitely. One of the tools that I kind of began to use now, it's actually a program. It's called Adobe Fresco. And in Adobe Fresco, I could actually go ahead and add more of my artistic intentions that I have as a studio artist into digital, than whether just going into a regular Mac and getting things done. Yeah. So if you guys are an artist, Adobe Fresco will be kind of a way to go. That's a really cool program.
It's great to have a variety of different formats.
Yes.
Some of my favorite artists did that, and were way ahead of their time, like Salvador Dali.
Oh, cool.
He had multiple formats. everything from painting to sculptures to film.
Yeah.
right? I mean, and he did things that were three-dimensional before other people were doing it. I mean, and he was very philosophical. Performance art. I mean, man was amazing, right? So it's great that artists like yourself, you can use a variety of different platforms and tools to make art. And I find personally, when you do that, you are less apt to get bored, right?
Yeah. For me, I find it very interesting how one way of making work kind of contributes into the other, because I kind of feel that a designer is not just simply a designer; it's also an artist in a way. Because for me, every time I make the design work, for the most part, and I could even say every single time, it's always with a sketch. Like I never just start off right onto just into the computer. I have to go ahead and develop a sketch, and I have to go ahead and develop not just one but several sketches. And many people just develop thumbnails, but I like going kind of more into the design, getting it kind of like finely detailed. Like I said, I using those other programs like Adobe Fresco before even going into Illustrator. So that's kind of the process I run. But I mean, even like work here done in studio art, I mean, I know that time passes by, and the way people make work also change. And I mean, kind of documenting like when I began to make this work, I still remember like sketching things out. So I mean, making videos of like how the whole thing began and how it evolved into having something like this. That's kind of one of the work. That's kind of one of the ways that I also work. That even contributed to making the album cover, because when I began, like you mentioned, Dan, to make album covers for some of my friends, I began with simple sketches, and then after that, I took it into like an iPad, Adobe Fresco, began to draw there, and then from there, it was taking into Illustrator. So it's like a process, and everything saves on a computer, right?
Yeah.
So we could go ahead and see exactly how everything went, and I mean, just have everything documented from how it began, the modifications, and the end result. So that's great. And I mean, playing around with the color that's there. I mean, that's a little bit of color theory right there and then. So just like learning how to blend the colors and how to go ahead and make the right choice of color for one thing, the right typography type of work too. So everything kind of plays like into both aspects, whether it's design or whether it's studio art, definitely.
Or whether it's doing something like a restoration.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of work, because you also, just by the definition, restoration, you're restoring it. So you want for it to maintain its original look, as much as possible, but still utilize the paint shades that you have, right, and still have your own creative contribution to it, and yet keeping it true to the original form, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, yeah,
because you are doing this for a customer. This is not your own personal work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, I can't be showing up to a customer with something totally different than what they send me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I have to go ahead, and I mean, this is something that I learned when I was also at Dominguez Sales, and I learned this in some of the sculpture classes that I have and ceramic classes that I had there. I mean, I'm kind of like shape and form, which are some of the big things. I mean, kind of keep everything on tact, and how to go ahead and make work stick together again, and even how to go ahead and have paint like be intact with the work. For instance, like how not to go ahead and like applying layer after layer after layer and trying to go ahead and get a solid color, right? For instance, when I began the restoration on the Virgin Mary, some of the work that I did was I had to first go ahead and like sand everything down, and then I had to go ahead and primer everything. That way this paint would actually stick onto the sculpture, and kind of now this is the job that I've done up to now. I'm still not done with it. I still have to go ahead and add more things, but this is kind of where it sits at this point.
It's getting there.
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's getting there. But it's been a process as well.
Let's take a look at some of your work here right now.
Yeah.
Let's see this. What do you call this painting here?
I call this painting the 3 stages of life.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. There's many reasons why I called it. I know that many critics probably would mention there's 4 stages, but For me, there's actually only three, and the reason there's three is because it's kind of more simple and to the point, you know. Something that people would kind of more understand, whether they're artists or not. It's simple. It's the birth, performance, and death. That's kind of what's being illustrated here in the painting. As you can see at the far left, we see the sun, like if it's coming up, right, the horizon. And the reason why I decided to paint that is because the horizon for me and for many people, it's kind of like the birth of a new day, which we see that on a daily mornings, right? Yeah, and then right next to it, I decided to paint a few mountains, and also water. The reason why I decided to paint water and soil is because water and soil, of course, you know, they tend to go ahead and give birth to plants, and plants make oxygen, right? Develop oxygen, and that's what we live by on a daily basis. If it wasn't for oxygen and plants, we wouldn't be here, right? So that's the reason for that. And then as we're moving more towards this section of the painting, there is a matador and a bull. So one of the things that one of the reasons why I actually decided to paint a matador and a bull is because I developed a series back when I was in college, a bullfighting series, and I continue to developing till this day, and still keep on adding more to it. The reason being is because for me, a matador and a bull kind of signify a performance, and you know, I mean, we're involved in the art, in the arts, and in the arts we're always performing. Many people would say it's a bad performance, other people would say it's a good performance, you know, but at the end of the day, there's always a good and a bad critic. So that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and kind of paint bullfighting, and also because it illustrates an obstacle, right? It illustrates obstacles, and it also illustrates a problem. Knowing that the bull is kind of like it's actually the like one of the biggest and strongest animals. It is a symbol of strength. Coming at a human, I mean, that's kind of like showing a challenge, you know. So that's the reason why I decided to include that in the middle section of my painting. As you can see, it's like the painting is also structured in three sections. It's not just one single shot of a painting. It's developed in three, and you can see that because everything does not have the same cast shadow. So that's one of the big things here. And finally, the death. I decided to illustrate it in the form of a mariachi, and the reason why I did that is because that kind of shows like my heritage, and you know, I mean, I was born in Boyle Heights, so I mean,
East LA.
East LA, Boyle Heights. Yeah. So basically, there we always see, and we do see like mariachis, especially in the Mariachi Plaza, which is just a few minutes away.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, in kind of like in our culture, death is not necessarily a bad thing, you know. It's actually signifying something that's like, I'm happy to leave this place because I already finished what I was asked to perform. Exactly. So this image also illustrates, or this far right figure illustrates death. You can actually see it in a more happy way, kind of like laughing at the performance instead of kind of judging or pointing out a performance.
And on the easel over here, this is another original work that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another original work. What I have here, this is just a portrait, and this is a portrait of my mom. I mean, yeah, so I still have a lot of work to finish on this. This is gonna be done in a few days, and this is actually a wood on wooden panel. It's a 36 by 42. 36 by 42. There we go. This will be the size on this, and yeah, I also have this going on, and also another few projects. I mean, this is some of my old work back when I was in college. On some of my live drawings there.
Is this a charcoal?
Yeah, that's charcoal. During the Renaissance times, we know that, I mean, Raphael and other amazing artists, they never really painted the paintings by themselves. The paintings were painted by their assistants, right? There's multiple ways of getting starting a mural. I decided to start it with a projector this time. I've used the palm machine before, and this is kind of using the projector. So yeah.
Oh, Jesse, here we are,
Hey.
looking at this mural. What a difference since the last time I saw it. What's been done since that time?
Oh, well, hello
Obviously.
everyone. Yeah, hello Dan, hi everyone. Yeah, so basically, since we last met, I mean, a few things have been done, as you guys can see. We worked in collaboration with other artists, which helped me with the background there into more of an abstract work. I thought that some of my work with abstract in the back would definitely go ahead and come together. As you guys can see the process, we're still not fully done. We still need to touch up on some detailed work and also involve other colors, like for instance like Nova Gold and Silver, to kind of make things more pop out, like in the foreground. That's basically what we need. In the background, we have to go ahead and push it back, use a little bit more of like the darker values, but it's definitely coming its way. Absolutely. Also, we need we're working by creating the value shifting. For instance, on the arm here, on the glove, we still need some adjustments. The shirt still needs some adjustments, and we are also using spray can, and as you guys could see, I mean, of course, brushes. But yeah, it's definitely coming its way. I mean,
So when do you think that you'll have it all finished?
so it should be done within the next few days. I'll probably say by Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. This is another great piece of work. This time really showing the diversity of your style and the quality of your work. It's
Yeah,
excellent.
I mean, thank you. Yeah, I mean, some of the work that I kind of felt was interesting about this piece specifically was that we went kind of at first when we were developing the background, we basically thought that it was just go up to a certain level, but once we began the collaboration with other artists, they told me to kind of go ahead and expand it, not let the wall kind of like take control of the artist and kind of go more all out. We went over, as you guys can tell, and over here on this side, we actually went in and out. We went into the tube and out of the tube. So basically, we went all around. My work is the work that I made was more of the center and the figures. We also developed the background, but that was done on design. When we brought everything back onto the wall, it was all done in collaboration with other artists.
It just shows how graffiti art and mural art has just grown in context, because and we can thank people like Banksy and Shepard Fairey, right, for and so many others who are nameless that all over the planet that have done some incredible work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and also as an artist, I mean, kind of combining two different styles together brings in some solutions. Many of the thoughts that were brought into place at first were like, is it gonna work? I know that many people create work in different various forms, but that was kind of our question, because we did not want to go ahead and go and kind of go for failure, right? We wanted to go ahead and have something fully set, a game plan in mind.
Fantastic. This has been a very interesting story covering the work of Jesse Fregozo and to some extent his life in real time. Seeing the progress of his work has just been amazing, and the diversity and bringing a little light into the world right now, which more than ever we definitely can never get enough of that, but definitely nowadays especially. It's been great talking to you and covering your work over time. I see that painting is off the wall there, so it's now in public exhibition.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Right now, the painting that we were talking about earlier, right now it says State Gallery. It's in Downey, in the city of Downey. It's right there. It's in a virtual art show right now. So you guys want to go ahead and check that out, you guys are more than welcome. But yes, I mean, I just want to go ahead and thank Dan for being part of a little bit of what I do. I'm getting involved, and I'm seeing the transition on work from sketch to a mural to a painting.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks for sharing that. And is there anything else that you would like to add about what's coming up for you and the ongoing projects?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I mean, so right now, we're also doing some mock-ups of another mural that's gonna be coming up. The other mural might be in East LA, so that's gonna be more in my hometown. So you
Cool.
guys are more than welcome to go ahead and head over there and check out what I'm gonna come up with next.
When you're in the LA area, be sure to look for Fregozo,
Arte.
ARTE. What's the website?
Yeah, well, the website I'm actually working on it right now. It's also fregosoarte.com.
We'll see your work as an artist on album covers, and also we have some sketches, and so we'll show you a little montage of some of this stuff too as well. And thank you, Jesse, and for being on the Nowman Show. And until next time, stay present in the moment, always. Hello, this is Niswander, and I'm here at the Armory Center for the Arts for an installation here from the Los Angeles Poverty Department, and I'm here speaking with Kevin Michael and also Henriette Brouwers. Thank you for being on the Nowman Show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin, your role technically is as a performer and also an outreach director.
Yeah, well, I live, work in Skid Row. I'm a 12-stepper, so I got sober in Skid Row. And my work with the LAPD, the Los Angeles Poverty Department, is just a natural outgrowth of that because LAPD is a community-based organization, arts organization.
That's wonderful. And Henriette, you are the assistant director, correct?
The associate director. Yeah, well, John and I we direct the shows together, and we do a lot together.
We are much more than a community theater group. LA Poverty Department, our LAPD, tells the story, the rest of the story, and they tell it in our voices, and it is such a, I hate the word empowering, but it's such a gathering of spiritual forces that it transcends just theater. It's just like the difference between theory and practice, book learning and experiential learning. And that's the thing that John and Henriette try and help us articulate, right? Our truths, our narratives. What fuels development? It's about, and this is a powerful piece because it's about the community saying, we don't want another alcohol outlet that was built with public money, our tax building, in a building, a beautiful structure that's been built with public funds for recently homeless, people recently released from incarceration, people that are chronically mental ill. They actually give out meds in this building. We organize to appear at the hearing and to protest it. And John and Henriette help with the poverty department because most of us live in the Skid Row community. And so the people came together and we told our story. And so for once we were able to get the powers to be to slow down and listen to us as we told them what we wanted and what we didn't want.
Fantastic.
And they changed their opinion. Yes. The committee came in, listening to the zoning administrator, thinking that they were just going to sign off on his recommendations, which usually is the case. But as they listened to testimonies from the people, and we only got 1 minute because there were like 60 people testifying. Tonight you only see, you know, maybe 15 of them, not even. And so, you know, it was, they actually got personally affected by the stories and changed their mind. And they decided in the end to not allow the use of the alcohol permit, you know, for the building. So that was, yeah, something that rarely happens, and of course for us a major victory because nobody ever listens to us anyway, you know. So that was huge, yeah.
And so Theater with the Poverty Department does give us a voice.
Yes.
And it gives, and I was trained as a lawyer. I know how to be an advocate, but the way that we craft our stuff very often, even though we have a point of view, it's using art as a form to advocate and enlighten. It's not as much in your face as I was once trained to do. Much of it is from the transcripts of the actual hearings.
You're telling human stories, and that is so important. I can't underscore that enough, because that's what makes the difference. What you go from the heart.
And I hope that some of your readers, some of your viewers, will actually come down and bear witness to this. We've got a lot of good stuff. Skid Row is probably the world's largest recovery community. Since I'm a 12-stepper, and that's where my life got saved, you know I think that it's the world's largest, but a lot of people are being helped, and we can do more together.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Kevin and Henriette. This is Niswander on the Nowman Show at the Armory Center for the Arts in Pasadena for the installation of the Los Angeles Poverty Department.